Okay, let's go jump to rank games with a random character and see what I'm gonna get today. And it looks like we are playing the Mage. However, looks like we can actually go for an Eggscalibur right off the bat, and that seems kind of insane, does it not? We definitely want to grab the frame pan and craft that fill up, but we also want to grab ourselves a garlic. Now the thing is, do we want to grab free runes got ties? We don't really have any mana. It is on sale. I think I'm going to just take the piggy bank. Well, we'll take it as I roll. And that is some mana generation for ourselves. And we can also sell our wooden sword, which I'm kind of down for. Let Eggscalibur kind of do the work for now. Just take our set of blueberries so we get a little bit more damage. The thing is, if we do want this in, we can't really afford to put it in. Unless we do it this way. But I also want our piggy bank in to get some extra monies. Now this is probably going to be the best way that we do win. But I'm going to put it in our piggy bank. And I'm going to take the stone because we can always sell it back for the same price. But this is going to be round 1. The free runes get dice would probably help us win a little bit more than our piggy bank because we will be slowing down just a little bit. Quick pause. I have a small question for you. Slay the Spire 2 drops this Thursday. So I wanted to ask you, would you like to see it on the channel? If you want to see it, comment down below. Hell yeah. If you don't want to see it, type recombobulator. But it has to be spelled right. Or just type nope if you can't be arsed. But anyways, make sure to let me know if you'd like to see the game. Now let's get back to the video. We'll see, can we keep up with this Pyromancer? Definitely does not look like so. And I don't think even a free runes guy dice would have really helped us out too much. Of course, we do end up losing, but at the same time, we're going to get ourselves our Eggscalibur. And this flame badge is going to be absurd because this is going to give us some heat and access to chili peppers. So we definitely want to take you with our banana too. We got a roll looking for some storage and we do manage to get some, hell yeah. And this is also going to be awesome too. And we can still use our free runes guy dice because we're not going to have enough mana to use our Eggscalibur either way. But I'm going to sell it and I'm going to take the extra flame. Extra flame, I do want to grab our puzzle bag improvement later on. But at the same time, I think we are going to venture on with this sort of situation, with Eggscalibur in, with our food items, prioritizing our banana and our garlic to be sped up with our puzzle bag. And also just starting off with 70 heats, we're not slowed down as much with a puzzle box. But then once we hit that 5 seconds, this is going to go nuts. Literally going to a 0.98 second cooldown. And so far, not bad. Eggscalibur early on is crazy strong. Now we got ourselves a piggy banks and we got ourselves Piggy Pinata. How do we not take it? Knife means you could be getting nice, especially since we're going to be stacking heat, but I don't really want to be adding in too much daggers. And double rainbow is kind of nice as well because we can duplicate the buffs like heat on Eggscalibur. But I'm going to take Piggy Pinata. It'll be extremely greedy and I'm going to take this to, that is a bag on sale, which I'm going to have to grab. I'm not going to take another one, even though this would be kind of nice for us. But let's take our garlic. Now we could also be taking ones, burning coals. I'm going to roll down. If I need this that we do once, honestly I'm just going to roll again. And see a piggy bank, we got to take a piggy bank. So yeah, I'm going to venture on with something like this. So we get a 5% crit chance. We should be able to stack up our buffs faster with our blueberries. As well as our flame badge. Hopefully that we get a tiny bit more heat from this flame badge. And heal a little bit more from our banana. It's not going to be too insane. It is 20% more. But it's still going to be kind of nice. Now we do start off with 9 heats. We got 6 from this, 1 from this, that's 7. We managed to get a little bit more. Can we still beat out this Berserker? I mean, they got lifesteal for days, and that was a big old smash. We got that 5%. We got that 5% crit. That literally won us that round. There's no way. And our piggy bank did explode. Give us an Amulet of Fortune also. With a magic for dummies. At least with Amulet of Fortune, we can increase our crit chance with our Piggy Pinata. It's honestly not going to be a whole lot. We got ourselves a chili pepper, which honestly is probably going to be the most important food item we could necessarily actually get. And I kind of want to place it up top. Even though this does give us heals, we definitely want it in our puzzle bag improvement to get it going extremely fast. We could take the Spell Scroller Grow and go for Lantern Berry as well, which might be a shout too. But I'm not going to take it. Not going to take it. I'm going to keep rolling because I don't necessarily really want any of those. I'm going to sell Magic for Dummies to grab ourselves another garlic. And we could take a Claws attack. If that's something we want. Claws attack added in with Eggscalibur, you know, maybe I will take it. But let's venture on once again. Just a little bit more damage, not a whole lot of stamina usage, although this maybe is a bad idea because this will shoot up in a crazy amount of stamina. But that's why we do have an extra banana. Well, only 1 banana actually. Once we activate our Eggscalibur, once we have enough mana generation, we'll be able to keep our stamina going. But we might need a second banana for that. However, we're absolutely destroying this mage, no problems whatsoever. Hell yeah, even though they had crazy blind on us. But we really need to grab these unidentified amulets. Looking for Amulet of Feasting most of all. Amulet of Alchemy. Okay, kind of duty trash a little bit. But that's our mana orb. And every bag on tilt we kind of want to take too. To the point where I almost want to sell our Amulet of Alchemy. Yeah, I'm going to sell it. Just so we can take a little bit of storage. Keeps giving us puzzle bags of luck. Which I'm not going to go for. I'm just going to continue on with this. Get our Claws attack. Now maybe we should have actually prioritized this on our Eggscalibur speeding up. But it shouldn't be too bad once you get our claws attack. Now, this is another food item we're looking for. We definitely want this too, speeding up all our food items. But the cupcake to also speed up our heats, give us more heals. 1,000,000% going to be worth it. But can we keep up against this frying pan? With all our food items, we're going to get lots of heals. With the power of the moon, they're actually going to get a max life increase. And honestly, that's kind of crazy. And we lost with Eggscalibur, but we got a claws attack. We got another chili pepper. And we got our mana orb. So we should be able to get some mana generation. We're going to have a crit chance on both our weapons. And we should be able to stack up way more heat for ourselves. Now maybe our claws attack might not be the play. It is such a low stamina cost weapon that it is going to be nice to add in. It also helps us stack up our power, which does increase our weapon damage as well, so I think it is going to be kind of nice to add in. Stamina wise, not too bad. We're generating mana so we can activate Eggscalibur, which will get our heat stacked up even faster, which allows us to get our mana faster. And not bad. Definitely not bad. We're 1,000,000% on our way there. Now, helmet, we got to take. We could go for a blood gubbers, maybe vampiric stack it. That's Piggy Bank. I'm going to take this Piggy Bank, but I do also want to take the fanny back too. Let's take the fanny back. Let's sell some flames. We grab ourselves this Piggy Bank also. The problem is, can we speed up our Garlics with it? Can we speed up our Eggscalibur actually? Maybe. I think we might go with Garlics for now. Even though I would honestly prefer our chili pepper in here, because that'll speed up both our Garlics also. But yeah, I'm gonna rock on with this, hoping that we can explode one of our Piggy Banks this time around. Potentially. Well, we are facing a tornado with a Hunger Blade puzzle badge. They're going to be going slow, but then they're going to go fast. Lucky they don't have that blood turn just yet. Otherwise, we would be in bigger trouble. For sure. But we're being through. They do have the cheese for max life stacking, but that's not going to matter too much. Hell yeah. And speaking of awesome, they both exploded. Give us an Amethyst Feasting and an Amethyst Steel. Well, that's cracked. Now at this point, we could go for the Water Elemental because he's also going to help us get mana. Especially if we're going super heat speedy type bite, that could be amazing. The other option is going for Spirit Balls and grabbing ourselves a bunch of Spirit Companions, a bunch of pets, and also just getting that damage reduction for a little bit so we can get our heat stacking off the ground. So good shout, also good shout. Too much storage to fit us in with Eggscalibur, since Excalibur is going to need a lot of food items around it. Rainbow Potion, again we don't really want to be going for staves too often. And Heraldry Hateful Hat could also be kind of nice too because it can increase or deal our healing as damage as well. Now, am I crazy to consider going with Water Elemental? I mean, Spirit Balls, definitely a good show because it is only 2 slots. And combined with our helmet, we take a bunch less damage. Yeah, I think I gotta take Spectromancer today. And speaking of awesome, we're gonna sell you to go ahead and take this too. Because that can be some starting mana for us. We're gonna go grab way more storage, and we gotta definitely put in our Mana Orb. And our Amethyst Feasting. Now the Amethyst Steel maybe might not be too fantastic because we're not going to be going too heavily. We're going to be going too heavily on armor, so we could potentially end up selling them. Now I'm also thinking about running on with this. With our Prismatic Orb in, we're only going to get 4 mana, but it is 4 more mana starting off. We get our helmet, maybe do want to grab the storage, and then we just move on once again. Yeah, I think this should be kind of decent. Now Amethyst Steel to give us a little bit more defenses at the beginning. We take 55% less damage for the first few seconds, it's not too long. But after that, we can start stacking up our heat. Gives us our time to be able to win out. Now, our opponent does have that Capital's Comfort, but losing our healing. It's not ideal either. But we're starting to get that heat stacked up even faster. It's looking much better. We got our power from our claws attack as well, and not bad. Now, the thing is, do we also want to go for a Hunger Blade into a Mana Thirst? It would be kind of awesome. Also, Rune Bag. You know, I'm going to just neglect it for now, and I will be taking in our freaking Mana Orb. That's way too good for us. So I'm also considering having a Mana Orb down here. Targeting a claws attack with a food items. This one is also not great. We could place it up top here instead. Targeting Eggscalibur, one of our food items. That could potentially be a lot better for ourselves. And you know what? I'm thinking about very strongly about moving on with this. We should be able to generate up. Wait, damn a sec. Yeah, we need more storage. We should definitely be able to get insane amounts of mana. However, we are facing corrupted armor, and I'm glad they don't have those snow sticks because snow sticks would slow us down a crazy amount. But with our heats, we should be able to counteract a little bit of colds, and with our chili peppers activating, we're going to be cleansing those debuffs. So I don't think we're going to have too much of an issue being able to be out this Reaper. We're stacking up heat a lot faster this time around. Much better. Not bad. And we got Hardwood, which is fantastic, but we also got ourselves Echo and Battlecry with our Spirit Balls, with our Helmet. Yep, that's going to be our game plan. We've got to take way more storage. Puzzle Bag of Energy, we are 1,000,000% going to have to take 2. But I'm going to roll. Actually, we should have taken that Stone Llama, but I do want to grab ourselves Caps of Discomfort instead. Grab another Fanny Pack 2 though. Now here comes the awkward thing of actually setting up our inventory once again. Puzzle bags, they're awesome, but they are a bit of a pain to actually place in. Another thing is we could also go for a Flame Up too. But I'm kind of more than happy to move on with this, whether I can Battle Cry inside our Fanny Bags along with our Spirit Balls so we can get this going faster, triggering our Prismatic up faster. Yeah, let's get going with this. We could also go for a Vampiric Armor, but again, I don't really want to be prioritizing our armor too much. Just damage reduction for days where I can Battle Cry, we get our heat going so we can trigger it even faster so we constantly have our damage reduction, allowing us to just go Turbo Nuts, because once you get Turbo Nuts, it's going to be more difficult for our opponent to beat us down unless we get insane amounts of healing reduction on us. But as long as we can get our own healing reduction onto opponents, it'll be much harder for them to survive too. But with 80 heats, yeah, we're starting to go nuts right now. There's not much they can do when we're just going crazy fast. However, we could take a Dark Frenzy, speeding everything up as well. Now, if we took that earlier spell Skull Grow with our Delos, it would help us get a bunch of mana and stamina. So I'm going to hold on to it. And never mind. Literally, the dream food enemies. We noticed that blueberries too. So I was thinking about moving on with this sort of direction. So we're going to have our Cupcake in here. We're going to have our Mana Orb as well. We should be able to get even more heats. And the more Cupcakes we do get, the more awesomeness we're also going to get too. Because this is going to heal us for 10, but also give us 2 buffs. Now, cheese would go a long way as well, because then we will be stacking up max life, not fully relying on our heals. However, I did put in a Dark Frenzy. It's going to be targeting our Prismatic Orb to speed that up so we get even more buffs. But it shouldn't be too bad, because with all our heat, we should be able to cleanse literally all the blinds on us, and that's crazy heat. And Smashers once again, taking a Crossblade. I'm also considering grabbing a Cat Spirit Companion, but I don't really want our mana to be used up here. One could be kind of nice. I'm not going to take either of them. That's a Blessing of Purity, which would give us a Null Blade. Yeah, I don't really want Null Blade. Grab the Fanny Pack. Grab this because it is on sale. We sell you, and we're 1,000,000% having to grab this bag because refunding all our buffs on our Eggscalibur is going to be insane. Now, I would like to grab more of this too. So I was thinking about grabbing a Puzzle Bag Improvement, but I'm not sure if I do really want to. With our Prismatic Orb, we should be able to start off with 6 mana from this spot. Potentially duplicate a little bit more with our Puzzle Bag Improvements. We're going to be using our heat in it. Mana Orb is going to be slightly up, but our Excalibur is going to have a 50% chance to refund those buffs, which is going to be straight up crazy. Because our mana generation should be insane then. We just need to get to that 11 mana off the rip. But it doesn't take us too long to get there. I'm also putting our Spirit Balls inside our bag to have a chance to duplicate all the buffs it does give us, giving our heat even faster. And our opponent is going to have invincibility, which stops us from going too crazy by not allowing us to deal some damage. However, that's 120 heats, still going up. Stamina is a bit of a problem because we are facing shielded, eating up every single bit of our stamina. And you know what, that definitely could really put a problem on us because we're reducing our healing and we just can't hit our opponents. We do want to fall short. That's kind of insane. You know what, I'm going to take a flute. I'm going to take a flute and I'm going to roll. Now that's exactly what I'm looking for. Crafting up our own Cap Discomforts would take a little bit more storage, another Puzzle Bag of Improvements, which at the end of the day I don't think I'm going to take. However, we could go for a Devouring Spear. And that's exactly what I want to go for actually, because that will give us a ton of Scaling Vampirism. So I'm going to sell Arm of Steel as mad as that is, with a Flame. I do want to craft this crazy fella up. We're going to lose a little bit of heat, which is not ideal either though. But yeah, let's get going. Once we get our Devouring Spear, we can put it in. It's going to give us more Vampirism. It's going to give us a ton of heals, which I think is going to be super awesome. Now we are facing double red colors, Frostbite, bunch of Vampiric bots. And I'm not sure if we're going to be able to survive this. They've dealt so much damage, they're going to be healing with every hit. And yeah, we're kind of just slowly falling down. And that's a Paradise Barb too. Paradise Barb would be kind of smashing too though. Speeding up all our heat, duplicating all our buffs. The problem is I do want our starting mana. Maybe get rid of a Claws attack because it has been kind of hampering us a little bit with our stamina. Other question is we go for Fanfares and just keep removing our opponent's stamina. I think I'm going to take it. I'm going to roll, not going to take the bird, which might be a bit of a misplay. Blessing Purity cleanses debuffs. We could take the Badger, which will use up more of our mana, but will give us more damage reduction. I'll be down for that too. However, I'm going to still roll. We could take the Divine Pot, which I'm not too interested in. Any of these. Pineapple for a little bit of spike action. I'm going to sell this to keep rolling. And a bird on sale, you know what, we'll take. Now, maybe we actually need another banana. You know what, let's sell one of the garlics to go ahead and take it, actually. Because at least that way we should be able to keep our stamina going up if we come across shielded again. However, that's going to be like Goobert's Defensive Fancy Rapier, more healing reduction, and we would love to grab ourselves some red rubies, place in some armors, increase our healing. That would be phenomenal. However, can we keep up with opponents? They're going to have 94% crit chance, it's going to do lots and lots of damage. But it's not too bad for us. All the blind inflicting is pretty much non-existent. And hell yeah. Now, should we take our points and run? Maybe actually. But your DPS is only about a 40 DPS, even with all his heat. But our opponent did have quite a bit of damage reduction too. In terms of heals though, 55 healing per second, even with 30% healing reduction, is not bad at all. And maximum health, 110 maximum health. With a little tiny bit of block. I do think we're going to continue on though. Grab a bird. We keep rolling. And I do want to find ourselves another prismatic orb. Now, storage on sale will always take. Puzzle bag of endurance. How do we not take that? With this bag as well. Another puzzle bag of endurance. I mean, that's just going to be crazy for our damage reduction for days. But I don't really see us fitting in another one. I'm going to sell this bag to keep rolling. And that's another helmet, which I do kind of want to grab. Another chili pepper, which I also really want to grab. Another helmet for even more damage reduction is going to be awesome. And do we chance it? And do we craft up the Paradise Burp? I genuinely think so. That's right, Midnight Eku. I'm going to sell it. I'm just contemplating on whether we take this helmet or not. I think we got it. However, this needs to be in there. And this could potentially be slid down just a little bit. But we're going to lose a lot of mana for Paradise Burp. I just want to sell both of these. Another flame. And I'm going to take this too. Arm of Darkness might not be a bad show either. Piggy Pinata pretty much can go. Because 5% crit chance is not really going to be too valuable for us. But yeah, let's get going. We're going to be dealing some effect damage with our Devouring Spear, so we should be able to inflict some debuffs. That's going to be a lot of cold on us. I'm hoping that our chili peppers can cleanse those debuffs. But again, it's another shield going to be number stamina, but you do have an extra banana in. We also have the flute to get some stamina back as well. And it's going to be a lot of poison on us. A lot of poison on us from the Poison Spear, but looking like we are putting up a decent fight right now. Because we got insane amounts of heats. We still got our damage reduction, 55% is nuts. They do get their invulnerability, but that's 200 heat and gold. And this is much, much better. Hell yeah. Definitely so. We're going to get our Paradise Burp. That's a second bird if we want to. We do want to grab a Chili Pepper, and that's a Doom Cap. Should we take one Doom Cap? I mean, this will just shut off heals. I gotta take it. It's literally going to be perfect in here. Shut down those heals. We gotta probably take out this mana orb and put in another Chili Pepper. But is that going to hamper our mana generation too much? Well, maybe actually place it in here. That's much, much better for us overall. Slightly move you down so you can be targeted as well. Put this back in. Well, it needs to be set up here, but it's going to have to be in this spot too. We still want our heats. We also genuinely want our blueberries too. But I'm going to sell one garlic to keep rolling. And one flame to keep rolling. But where are we going to put this? If we didn't have our mana orb in here, we could have our set of blueberries. But at the same time, mana orb targeting food items along with our Excalibur, I think is going to be a lot more worth it. But this Doom Cap is going to be insane for us. Literally reducing that heal even further. Every time it does activate, it is going to be 10% heal reduction, which is crazy because 7 activations and they can't heal anymore. But they do have 60% healing down on us too. But at the same time, we're going turbo nuts. And just like that, it's going to be over. Not bad. And more chili peppers. We'll take all of them. That's a cheese. More chili peppers. Now, how the hell do we put this cheese in? Do we get rid of our set of blueberries? Do we get rid of one chili pepper? So I did place the cheese in, and the chili pepper is going to have to come out a little bit. The cheese to stack up max life, so we're not too pushed on just stacking up our HP. We've lost a lot of our mana from our blueberries, so I don't think I'm going to take another chili pepper. I think I'm still going to roll. That's another mana orb. Hell yeah, I'll be taking it. We pick a Pinata. We could just get rid of it because it's not going to be doing a whole lot for us either way. We slightly move this over then. Yeah, I think we're going to move on with this. Mana orbs spread all over the place, trying to get as much as possible from everywhere. We got 80% damage reduction from the beginning. Our opponent does get invincibility. They're going to be attacking super fast. They're going to be trying to remove our stamina and mana with the fanfares. But as long as we get our heat going, it's not going to matter too much. And we're going to be trying to steal theirs too. And with our tiny little flute in, we can also get her some stamina back too. It's kind of mad. I don't really use flute too often. Now we could take the banana in hopes of grabbing ourselves another food item. I'm going to ignore that one completely. Grab our storage. And can we fit this in? I mean, it would be nuts on Eggscalibur, just having a constant mana refunding. 75% is insane. Let's gamble a little bit first. Another Amateur Darkness 2 though. But is there really any way that we can fit it in? Because I do like our setup the way it is. Getting the speed on Eggscalibur. We do have 2 of our puzzle bags of energy. Okay, I'm going to have to sell one flame and I will be taking it. We can get it in. 75% damage reduction with all that speed. It should be crazy insane. So we are losing on a lot of items though in having to try fit this in. So we got to sell one bag to keep rolling. Just keep rolling and grab ourselves another stamina sack. And we do really want to grab it. So how the hell are we going to fit this in properly? I mean, we could do something like this. We'll slow down Doom Camp just a little bit. We can have in our chili pepper. But the feasting is going to be in a slightly different position than we want to. We're just going to be trying to target as much food items as possible. We still have a banana in as well. We put in our flames. This fanny pack is going to be really, really badly placed, but it's kind of something we have to deal with right now. To try and get 75% of our mana generated back. Alright, we're going to sell a banana to keep rolling. And a fanny pack we could settle on. Could we? It's the final round, so maybe, maybe not. Yeah, let's sell a Piggy Pinata, let's roll again. And do we take one set of blueberries? Instead of one heats, maybe. And I think this is it. I think this is going to be a final setup. An Eggscalibur type run with 75% of our buffs generated. I did put our mana orbs in here, so we're going to be losing out on a little bit of food item action, but at the same time, it's going to be worth it for all the mana generation we're going to get. And I think that's going to be somewhat awesome. Part of this purpose to try and duplicate most of our buffs. It's not going to be targeting our mana orbs. If that's the one way we could have actually improved it, because it will be duplicating all the mana we do get. Now, another prismatic orb would have went a long way, because then it's much, much easier to get our mana stacked up. For sure, we got a big mana buff bomb actually, which is kind of insane. We don't stack up our heat as fast though. We are taking on a Dancer Dragon that is going to have tons and tons of heat. I should have slowed it down actually, because by the time I slowed it down, we absolutely smashed them. We do end up with about a 53 DPS Eggscalibur, Claws Attack, Devouring Spear, Amateur Darkness, all putting in some work for us in terms of heals. We did manage about 50 healing per second, so honestly 50-50, not too crazy by any means. In terms of block, 87 block. But hey, we did survive 3 lives left. How much rank points are we going to manage to get? Plus 10, ranking us all once back up to Masters once again. Not bad. However, I'm going to leave it here for now. I just want to say thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribing, and I'll keep a look over the next one, and I'll see you next time. Okay, we're back to round 18 fights, and we're going to see what we can do with our Eggscalibur. Another Dancing Dragon build off the rip. Can we take him on though? They got to the Dark Frenzies for days. With this guy, if they have luck, they're going to be honestly resisting a lot of debuffs, so they're going to be going extremely fast. But it's not looking too bad for us. We shut down their healing altogether, and eventually we're just going to win out. Now, can we deal with a life-stealing Reaper? They're going to have a lot of heals. It's going to take us a lot longer to boost their healing, but once we start getting it down, yeah, we should definitely be able to win out. With their heats, they're not going to be able to smash us down too fast. And every hit is now not going to do anything for them anymore, and with that, that's smashing. Now, can we deal with a Steel Goobert's Double Axe? They're going to have 94% crit chance. Steel Goobert's Double Axe, really, really awesome type builds, but you kind of want a second Steel Goobert down below. That way you can turbo scale that Double Axe to the insane damage. Now they are putting up quite a good fight, but at the same time we just have infinite heat and not bad.